Awesome. So as you could tell, unless they're like the gremlins and you feed them after midnight, we don't actually multiply. This isn't the OG debate with me and Wayne and Lee. Lee decided to go out and have some fun tonight in his normal life. So therefore, we decided to cancel the OG debate for the evening, and I decided to bring on some friends. So in the far opposite corner, way down there on the bottom right, is Luke from Irons United. What's up, Luke?
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Awesome. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll get into that in just a few minutes. Wally, Wally's right next to him down the center. You all know him if you've been watching our channel. Right below me is Wayne from. Just kidding. It's it's Adam from West Thames Why We Drink the podcast. One of our good friends of the show. He was also on Friday Night Lights, and that was one of my favorite episodes. And they also, West Ham is Why We Drink, took over our network one evening and did one of their podcasts on our show. So that was really cool. So if you haven't already, check them out and subscribe. Same thing with Irons United. They're on YouTube and they do stuff daily pretty much. And there's all different sorts of shows, kind of like, what we're trying to do here is provide different sorts of, programming, I guess you'd say. So it's all very entertaining, very good stuff. So definitely subscribe to their channel. Over on the opposite side of me is Ray. Ray's hosted one of our shows before, and he's co-hosted the other evening with Liam, which is a great show. That interview was fantastic, by the way, with Tommy from Irish Tommy from Ireland. And right next to me is John, the host of Friday Night Lights, my favorite show, on this American Hammers TV, and I'm not even on it, so that's. But it's cool because I get to sit back and watch it. That's just fantastic. So anyway, we have a great show, Friday Night Lights this week. I just got to mention real quick. It's we got 3 special guests. We have Baz Cox. We have Dom from, the West Ham Fan TV fan cams. And we also have Nikki Marsh, a.k.a. Marshy from the West Ham Fan TV fan cams. So that should be very entertaining. And then in the near future, we're going to be doing something kind of special with all that. We'll discuss that I'll let John discuss that on Friday Night Lights. But anyway, in the meantime, I do notice that there's already people in the chat room. We are streaming live simultaneously on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. So people on Twitter can see us as well. I see Neil's here from South Australia and Azajuma from Ghana. And I see Ray's doing double duty, as is Wally. Selly is in the chat room as well, and
I saw that earlier.
Yeah, so if you're about allocating, why not start with that, I guess. So basically tonight we're going to wing it for the first half an hour, and then about a half an hour we're going to go over some Hammers polls. But anybody want to discuss? Anybody see that about Isla today?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. It's really good news. She was kind of given the all clear, and so when they originally raised money, the whole idea was a vaccination, but then, the cancer spread. And so then it was, basically she's been battling that for a long time. And they're finally at a position now where it looks like they're going to be able to take her to New York to get the treatment that, the vaccine that they were raising money for originally. So amazing news.
Right.
Wow. No, definitely. That is. It's been a long time, it feels, coming. So it's great to see, all the support that they've had and continue to have, and they deserve it. So let's, is there anything else? Oh, okay. So, all right. The elephant in the room, which we were kind of talking about off the air a little bit, which I see popping up in the chat room, is Roberto. Anytime I see his name, I just want to smash my face into the wall. Seriously, man, he just gives me a fucking headache just thinking about him. So it is a Hammers poll. I'll just jump into that now instead. I want to go around the room here. So Zach from American Hammers Radio, sarcastically, I don't know if he was serious or not. I hope not, but he asked, is Roberto that bad? Is he really that bad? A former, a Champions League player, someone who's actually been on, multiple clubs at, high levels across, Europe. Is he really that bad, or is he fixing matches? What do you think, John?
No, he's that bad. He is actually that bad. I mean, if you look at his record over the years, look at all the teams he's been to, all that you can possibly say is that he's a journeyman. He's picking up 10 games here, 15 games there, 25 games at the next club, and he's moving on. I think he's been back and forth to Atletico Madrid at least 3 or 4 times. I mean, he's not somebody that any team has had the confidence in to play as their starting goalkeeper for longer than one season at a time. He is that bad. And I don't know how he keeps getting contracts, actually, at all of these clubs. It must be some kind of backup plan. Everybody must be getting fucked. Everybody's first-team goalkeeper must be going down injured like ours is. And this is some kind of bizarro world where this man keeps getting starts at different clubs. So, no, Jen, I would hate to bring the name of the game into disrepute. He is just that bad.
Ray, what do you think? We're gonna go in we're gonna go clockwise.
I don't know how you can be that bad. Well, I don't know how you can fix that slap into the goal because that was so bad. It just looked like his hand was like floppy. It was it's just gotta be pretty bad to be fair. Yeah, I just can't think of him fixing it. He is that bad.
Luke.
I used to play Sunday League football, and one of the lads that used to play in goal for us was overweight, always used to get injured, was normally hungover, and he would last 5 minutes longer in West Ham's goal than Roberto does. Now, Roberto's probably a really nice guy, probably be the first person to buy a pint down a pub, to be your best mate, you know, all that sort of stuff, but I don't know what it is about. He's like a goalkeeper that thinks he's a ball boy or something like that because he just doesn't dive for anything. And when he does, we're 3-0 down anyway. So you might have very well done that, 3 goals ago, 3 shots ago. Do I think he's fixed in games? He's got to be in his own right because let's face it, how else would you be that terrible on purpose? I actually didn't realise he was second choice throughout his career, John. So that's quite a news to me. I didn't realise he was actually that. He was second choice throughout his career and a bit of a journeyman, so that's news to me. But he's cursed, isn't he? Because Fabianski's never been injured in his career like this before, so he's definitely cursed. So he's definitely slipped Pellegrini once to say, look, just keep him out a bit longer because I'm having some fun conceding all these goals. So yeah, Roland Fabianski's. There's a rumour today actually. I don't know about anyone else's this, but there's a rumour that Thomas Kuszczak is going to be in goal against Chelsea. He's a free agent, and also. Anang from the under-23s wasn't involved in tonight's game at all against Brighton. So the rumour mill's already going into overdrive, and they're saying that for Chelsea it could be Anang in goal or Kuszczak, or possibly even David Martin. But the likelihood of Roberto being in goal come the Chelsea game is very unlikely, which means it will be likely it will happen because it's West Ham, and that's just what happens. We hope so.
Yeah. Isn't our squad registered full though? So we can't, even if we've got a free agent in, we can't play him because the registration is full as far as I'm aware.
Apparently it's something to do with dual citizenship or something that you can actually play. Huh. That's what I've heard, but it's literally what I've heard, and obviously with West Ham and rumours you can't always believe them all, but that's what I've heard.
I'll take whatever I can get. Honestly, Anang, your nan, my nan, anybody's fucking nan. Just get him out of there.
Wait till we get to me. All right, Wally. I got something to say all about that. But anyway, Wally.
All right. Well, I've just solved the reason why Pellegrini sticks with him. Apparently, I had heard that Roberto has a really hot wife. So, well, no. I just did a Google image search for Roberto's wife.
I wasn't lying.
The first long-haired person that shows up is Pellegrini.
No way.
So
that's the hot wife everybody's been talking about?
Maybe that's why, Pellegrini feels he can't drop his husband out of the game. So.
Christ, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard you say. I swear to God. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, Jesus. All right. Adam, man, what do you think? Dude?
Well, first of all, I don't believe he's got a hot wife because he can't keep hold of anything. There's no way he's kept hold of a hot woman. Second of all, like at this point, I'm being 100% honest. At this point, I would rather us have a Make-A-Wish kid have their dream come true and go in goal. Like, genuinely, at least it shows that West Ham are a family club who give a shit about their fans. Because it would have the same result, we would still lose. This guy has got no ability. He's got zero positioning skills. He's got like, I play on a Monday night and I've not seen a goalkeeper worse than him. And these boys are, and the first time I played, I could name drop the guy. Is one of the boys in Dude Perfect. So he's not really a football player, but he was in goal, first time playing. He literally caught the ball and then proceeded to run out of the area with the ball in his hands. And then when the referee blew the whistle, he's like, what have I done? This is the level.
Yeah.
And Roberto, I mean, the thing people have said is he the worst player to play in the Premier League. You look at that Massimo Taibi, who played for Man United once, made a horrendous mistake. The ball went through his hands and through his legs at the same time. He never played again because Man United were like, all right, you can't be making mistakes at this level at this club. Now, West Ham seem to be okay with it for 4 weeks in a row. And I don't know why. And I think the reason that he's the worst goalkeeper we're seeing in the league is quite simply no other club would have put up with it for as many matches as we've done.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Well, he really is, though. I mean, he actually does a lot for the West Ham Foundation, whatever it's called. I think he actually did something with I don't know if it was Make-A-Wish, but it was something along those lines. Now that you actually mentioned that, it's kind of funny. Maybe they picked the wrong kid out of the lot, but I don't know.
Maybe that was a scouting session.
Yeah, maybe, but no, he actually does a lot for the community. He does a lot. But he seems like a really nice guy. I mean, that's what everybody says about him. No one has a bad thing about his person. No one has a bad thing to say about his personality. You never hear any people talking shit about what he's like in training or in the dressing room. We don't hear any of the players or ex-players saying anything. My worry for Chelsea is, I mean, now that you mentioned Kujak, I mean, that would be a lot better than what I was thinking because somebody, I think it was Gun and Hammers, they made a post today on Twitter about Anang or whatever his name is. I got like immediately excited because I'm like, wait a minute, holy shit! That ex-West Ham employee posted that, right? He said something about he was not in the under-23s, so he might be leaving him out so that he could possibly play. I got so excited. I mean, Pellegrini's finally going to play some youth. This is great. Maybe he's going to change. Maybe. But then I'm like, who is this fucking Anand guy? Let me check out some highlights and stuff. So the first highlight I watched was it was a friendly. It was a friendly versus Braintree Town, the under-23s versus Braintree Town, and I've never seen someone mimic or at least try to emulate Roberto like this guy did. He actually had the ball in goal and he fucking softly, he kicked it wrong, but softly, and went right to the fucking defender. And instead of like launching it deep, you know what I'm saying? Or holding on to or something, he fucking soft kicked it and the guy just fucking smashes it in. Easy goal. I'm like, that's something Roberto would do. And I'm like, that was this July. So this was like this preseason. It wasn't that long ago. I mean, this kid made that much of a fucking mistake at that level against Braintree Town. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I lost all excitement right there just from that one fucking highlight. Because that's not common. I mean, Fabianski's done it a couple times this season. Didn't do it at all last season. But, this season he's made a couple kicks like that where it's like, what the fuck are you doing kicking out of bounds? Like, 10 yards down the field. Like, your teammates are that way. Like, that way. Anyway, I don't know. I just pray to God that fucking Fabianski will come back, but not too soon because we don't want him to come back and get injured again. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's. I think we all agree Roberto's shit. I don't think he's fixing. That was just. That's the first time I'd heard that even come up. So I just wanted to mention that. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's complete bullshit, but whatever. Anyway. Subscribe to American Hammers Radio on iTunes and Spotify and all that bullshit. Anyway, the next topic I really want to discuss is something I saw today. I think it was on something I saw. I saw a clip. It was Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport. All right, and he said that he thinks that we should have. I mean, Rio Ferdinand should be our next manager, and Joe Cole should be with him. So let's go backwards this time. All right. So, Adam, would you have Rio Ferdinand as our next manager?
No, but I'd love him to be involved in the club. You know, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have the players that I grew up watching involved just around the club, coaching the youth teams, you know, whatever it may be. Potentially even as a coach, you know, maybe as a coach. But putting someone with no managerial experience in charge of West Ham is a terrible idea. Like it's an idea that, like, just imagine like going to and apply for a job that you've really got no experience in at all, and like instead of a little company going to like some multinational massive company, they're not even going to look at your application. Yeah. And I mean, it's such a like lower league mentality to think, oh, let's just get an ex-player in to manage us. You know, like we're meant to be in the Premier League. Not only that, we're in one of the newest stadiums in the Premier League, a massive stadium, and we have got huge potential. Like, I don't know. The problem is the board run our club like a market stand. So, do I think it should happen? No. Could it happen? Yes. Unfortunately.
Really?
Well, look at the board. It's the cheapest option. It's like, oh, these guys are local. That'll give us a bump, and then we can blame them when it all goes wrong.
I can't picture Rio being cheap though. He's a fucking slut. You know, I mean, he loves his money. I mean, he's a whore. And I was listening, dude. I'll never forget this. It was the Man United, the game that we beat Man United, right? The 2-0 victory this year. He did a little Instagram live before the event, right? Before the match, he was in a limo or someone was driving him to the event, and he was fucking the match or whatever, and he's in there and. He's like, me, man, you, me, man, you. Oh, we're going to crush them 4-1. And I'm like, did he just say we are going to crush them? Like,
no.
He doesn't give a fuck about West Ham, dude. He doesn't
give a fuck. Did that happen?
Huh?
Really?
Yes, on his Instagram live, which is nowhere. Once it's done, I mean, you get 24 hours with that fucking bitch. But anyway, he said that shit, and I'm fucking... Dude, I went on the show that evening and or the next day or something like that and brought that up, and I was pissed because you could tell he didn't give a fuck about West Ham. Didn't. So that's what I think. I mean, Anton maybe on the other hand would give a fuck about West Ham. Rio doesn't give a fuck about West Ham. He gives a fuck about money. John. No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Wally. We're going that way. Sorry. I cut it. My bad.
Yeah, Tim, I'm sorry. I got a little distracted. I verified that Roberto is not married to Pellegrini, and I found his wife, and she is quite hot. So
yes,
yes,
I know.
So I'm sorry, I got distracted. What is the question?
I forgot. Would you have Rio as manager?
Oh, Rio. Yeah. Does he have a hot wife?
Oh Jesus!
That sounds like pretty desperate to me. I don't know.
No, so basically, Jamie O'Hara, he was on TalkSport, and he was the one who said that we need to be bringing back the old, our old players, but not too old, obviously, like the younger generation of older players, ex-players. Sorry, bring them back. And he said, like, look, what's his name? Fucking White. What's White's name? John White, Jay White, fucking
White.
Jim White.
Jim White.
Jim White. There you go. That bastard. He was saying that. Oh yeah, no, you're right. He's like, yeah. It worked out for Steven Gerrard so far. It's worked out for so and so, and Frank Lampard. Oh yeah, it works out for him. Bringing ex-players back like that. But anyway, so they were pumping it up, saying no, it's the same thing. Basically, they were talking like it's the same thing. Frank Lampard and Rio Ferdinand. Who the fuck is Rio Ferdinand coached recently? At least, I'm shocked that Frank Lampard's doing such a great job. He's only had one season under his belt. at Derby, before he even came here to Chelsea. So, anyway, Steven Gerrard, same thing. I mean, he's doing all right, but I can't picture Rio Ferdinand doing anything other than fucking being miserable and losing. And anyway. Where are we at? Now I got distracted. I'm talking too much. All right. So Luke.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Wally, did you finish? Did you want to?
No, I was just going to say, if they're going to go for our next player, get Kevin Nolan. Okay?
Kevin Nolan.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Good
Anyway.
man.
Dude, he beat the shit out of everybody, dude. He wouldn't give a fuck. He wouldn't put up with any shit.
Right.
He wouldn't. He's the best.
Yeah, he'd also take the whole team out for a beer after every training session.
Oh yeah, fucking cocaine and prostitutes at his pad.
Yeah.
Afterward. Hey, gotta motivate him, right? So he's a motivator, right? And he can fuck everybody up. I mean, Mark Noble, he would bitch slap him with his fucking toe. Anyway, Luke, what do you think?
I can't keep up with all this shit. you lot are on levels, man. I don't think that's what I'm going to say, because Wally's not going to have a clue what I'm talking about anyway in about 5 minutes' time. He's going to see the images.
He's going to be like,
going off.
Wag.
It's basically, yeah. Anyway, back to the point. The thing is, right, is that when West Ham gets to this level where we're in a bad rut, everyone kind of goes, we need someone who knows West Ham, who has quick determination and all that sort of stuff. And that's fine, that's fair enough. But if you're going to go that way, you might as well get in Paolo Di Canio, because Di Canio's had about 3 or 4 management jobs since he's been out. He knows the club, he's passionate, the fans love him, all that. That's never going to happen because he's too unprofessional, and the owners don't want him. So I can understand why fans want that. And before we go any further, Jamie O'Hara is on TalkSport. TalkSport is known for just dishing subjects out to get people angry and let them bite, so they nibble when they contact. So please don't take anything they say too seriously, because I do it in the past, and they'll just say shit to get you mad and to get you commenting. So less said about Jamie O'Hara, the Tottenham reject, the better. But, he's a winner. But look, if Rio was in a good position and he really wanted to do coaching and he wasn't just so comfortable being a BT Sport pundit, then maybe I'd take a chance. And if I didn't see that Instagram, if I didn't hear about that Instagram story that you just said to him, then maybe I would. But obviously, he doesn't give a shit about West Ham, so that's different. Unless we've got any real West Ham, ex-players who really, really want to get into coaching and are willing to take on a club like West Ham, because let's face it, teams like Rangers, where Gerrard is, they've kind of got this winning mentality anyway. They're going to want to go with Celtic every year. They've got a mentality. They've got an ambition to go for. Yeah. You've got Lampard at Chelsea. Lampard's got a winning mentality. He was a winner as a player. He's had a year with Derby, and it's gone into a Chelsea team who are on their knees transfer-wise. So they needed all these kids to be taken up by a teacher to go, right, you're going to play the Chelsea way. You're so young. You're ready to be bread and butter and all that sort of stuff. Like that. So they've got the advantages there. West Ham is a totally different kettle of fish, and we should be more ambitious than we are. And I think that if you're going to get the perfect thing for us would have been to go for Mourinho, but Spurs have done that. Yeah. So we've missed out on that. I know it's a massive shout, but ambition-wise, that would be what we should have done. Right now, we're looking at someone like getting Moyes back in, because Moyes can get us defensive and get us steady again, a steady ship for next year.
Why the fuck would you want to come back? You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the contract. No, they chose Manuel over him. You know what I mean? Why the fuck would he want to come back? It's kind of like a bitch slap,
On paper, Manuel Pellegrini was a very good appointment for West Ham for what he's achieved, and last season was the stepping stone for where we should have gone this year. Unfortunately, classic West Ham has happened. We've gone backwards. Yeah. And now we're again going, we're going to need an Allardyce type guy. We're going to need a Moyes type guy to get us back out of this rut. So really, unless you're going to go get someone like Sean Dyche from Burnley, who's going to get us really nailed on at the back and just give us, physicality. If you're going to take on a young manager, fair enough, but you've got to give him time. And right now, it's toxic around the club. You can't bring someone young and go, here you are, here's 5 or 6 months to just do what you want, because we could be relegated in 5 or 6 months. So basically, the answer to Rio is no.
Yes, we will actually. That's actually the next topic is all the different managers that are being linked right now. Ray, what do you think about Rio? Rio?
So, for me, it's hard no, especially at this point. He's not proved himself as a manager. If you look at Frank Lampard, for instance, he went down a level to to do his management skit. He is known to be a really hard worker.
Yeah.
Loads of training. So he's got the mentality from his father to be like a good manager, where Rio's like too busy on a beach in his villa, doing the TV, doing his YouTube channel. Maybe we should get there.
Yeah, exactly. It cost us though. Yeah, he's one of those bastards. He's one of those assholes that make you pay to have him on your show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few of those out there.
So he's got no experience for me, so it's a hard no. Maybe come in and help with the youth team. That's about it for me.
Well, John, sorry for the delay. You must love this serpentine we got going on.
It's all good. Let's talk about Jamie O'Hara.
Okay.
This is the man that has gone to coach Billericay, right? That's what he's doing. And so he's trying to, well, I'm not saying that as an offensive term. He's trying to do things the right way. He went and got his badges, and he's starting at the bottom and is going to work his way up. In the same show, because I was listening to that live, he said that one day he would be a top manager. So this is a man who's trying to do it the right way, got his badges, playing in the manager in the lower leagues, and suddenly he's advocating for somebody like Rio and Joe Cole, who have no experience to go in and become a manager at the top level straight away. The man doesn't even know his own personal interest, let alone football. That is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. And second of all, we were talking about Pellegrini and the journalists that were coming out within the last week to 2 weeks saying, oh, it was a lazy appointment. Well, what is this? This is the laziest of journalism. That goes back to Luke's point about, it's talk shit radio, isn't it? It's just get people riled up for no reason, throw out these grenades because they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to have any integrity behind the things that they say. They don't have to back it up. They just come out with stupid talking points like putting Rio Ferdinand as West Ham manager who has no experience whatsoever. Sure, it's working out right now for Frank Lampard. We'll see if it works out in the long term for him. Gerrard, well, Christ, there's only 2 teams in that league up in Scotland. So,
Yeah.
It's going to work out for him regardless. They got the money and they got the players to do it up there. But, Wayne Rooney's going to come over. He's going to Derby. See if it works out for him there.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. Similar to Adam, I'd have him in the setup. I'd love to see him at West Ham. I think he's a big figure that's won things. He could be brilliant around the kids and really show that professionalism that, quite frankly, our team needs. But as the main man, as the manager, no, not for me.
So before we get into, so I've already answered that question. I'm not going to go back to me. So I cut somebody off. I forgot who. We have a question from the chat room. So it kind of leads into my next question, but we'll delay that. So Irish Tommy, aka Thomas Lonigan, he asked, do you guys think that West Ham is already speaking to people to replace Pellegrini and will sack him as soon as they agree terms, like Tottenham did with Pochettino and Mourinho? Let's do John this time.
Yeah, of course they are. I mean, any club. And they should have been since the time that they appointed him. I mean, not that you expect them to fail, but you should always have a backup on hand. So whether that be directly or indirectly through back channels, they should know who that replacement is going to be at any given time. Now, my problem is that you've got, some mouthpieces for the board perhaps coming out with certain things, whereas instead, how it should be handled is by the director of football that we appointed. And we got into this a little bit on Friday Night Lights last time, and you're talking about what is the culture of our club, what is the philosophy behind our club, and who is driving the direction of it. Well, it should be the director of football to do the football business within the club. And unfortunately, I don't think that's the way that we currently operate. So, yes, they should be talking either directly or indirectly. I doubt that they're not talking. But are we going about it the right way? Absolutely not.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry to bring English politics in, but the board are pretty much like Jeremy Corbyn. They're dithering, they're delaying, they're trying to do whatever they can just to get by because they think Manuel's going to come good. He's not. His tactics is shocking. We need to do what Tottenham did, and it hurts me to say that because I hate Tottenham. But Fruit ranks by Redknapp. But they were just ruthless. You know, Pochettino is a great manager, but they just cut it and then just put Mourinho straight in. We need to do that. We shouldn't be having all these stupid leaks about all these different managers we're going to be linked with. You know, and it just says that the board are just chatting because they're saying to the West Ham fans behind the backs, "Oh, we are doing something about it. You know, don't hate us. Don't come and bombard us with messages and meet us outside the ground. You know, we're trying stuff. We're trying to be." And let's be honest. No West Ham fan cares about that. They just want action. They just want things done. If they want to do, if they don't want us to do it, and still with Pellegrini, just don't bring anything out of the media. Just let it be. Just say, look, no, he's that guy. We're sticking to him, you know, for the foreseeable future.
A lot of leaks have been like contradictory. You know what I mean? A lot of them actually. It's kind of mind fucking in a way, where it was like, oh, so and so was, you know, they actually showed up and said they're interested, or they gave West Ham a call. They're interested. Hold on, wait. I'm hearing that. Oh no, so and so Eddie Howe now. Oh, it's Eddie Howe now. Daesh. Oh wait, no, they're on the phone to China. It's Rafa Benitez. Oh, he'd be the best one. And not only that, look, 2 days ago, the fucking odds for the next West Ham United manager, it had Rafa as like a fucking shoo-in, dude. I mean, I can't remember what it was because it's not the same right now. It's actually dropped. I mean, it's like 5-1 now. It was fucking 7-4, something like that, or 5-2. Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. And Eddie Howe was always the second on this list. That has not changed. But Eddie Boyer's moved up. Chris Wilder's moved up or down the list. Chris makes me sick. So it's the same reason why I still have this little hatred. I get this little something about Ryan Fredericks. I just can't fucking stomach it. I keep forgetting. I'm like, oh, because he's a fucking Chris Hughton. He came up in Tottenham's academy. That's why I hate him. Okay. So anyway, what was I saying? Chris Hughton, fuck him. Yeah. So I don't want him. He spent a long time, 1971 in the academy until like 1990. He spent his whole fucking almost a good chunk of his life as a Spur. Why would we even consider that? You got to know that guy's got a soft spot in his fucking heart for them. He has to, right? So fuck him. He should be out of the fucking equation. Secondly, David Moyes, man, that thing just pisses me off. Like I just mentioned, what you did your job. You were given a contract. You came in. You did your job. You saved fucking West Ham, David. Great job. Thank you so much. But guess what? I think this chick's hotter. So I'm going to go with her instead. I'm not going to renew you. I'm fucking moving on to this bitch. She's got a great track record of swallowing and everything else. So, shit.
Brilliant.
I'm just heated right now. Never mind. Anyway, what was I saying? So they gave him Pellegrini, and now, so here my point is, so all of a sudden, that chick's not doing what I thought she was going to do. Okay, the nicer looking one, right? I thought she was going to do a lot better.
She's not.
And
is that what you're
she's not doing something. So hey, can I have you back? You want to come back? Why the fuck would you want to come back? Anybody? I'm sorry. Let's go. I'm sorry. Continue on. We're talking about. You think they're talking to people, and you can also talk about Moyes if you want to, Luke.
Yeah. Right. Before I go any further, JC 4 p.m. Anyway, just carrying on. Try to get that in there.
I thought that was going to happen.
The thing about it is, right, is talking to managers is actually it's a clever thing to do. Get them in, have a little chat with them. It's very disrespectful to the manager who's in charge, but let's face it, it's a business, we're the club. Let's do it that way. Problem is with our owners, is that the minute a potential manager sits down, has a word with them, and goes, how much am I going to get transfer-wise, say 140 million? They're going to go, about £4. So already you're going to have them on the back ropes and going, well, there's no money. Because it's taken Pellegrini, it's Diop, Haller and Anderson like a top buys. Apart from that, they've all been freebies and loans, and then a couple of quid here and there. And as Villas last season was doing bits by bringing in players of great quality for low prices, and this year it's been right. So good likes of Sanchez in the midfield, who's not going to do very much either. So it seems to be things haven't improved. So yeah, okay. The problem is this now. Looking at other managers, is that Pellegrini's going to be sitting there going, "Were you disrespecting me by going behind my back and talking to other managers? I've
Yeah.
got 3 games to save my job. I'm highly paid. So if I do go, you're going to have to pay me a fuckload of money to sack me.
Yeah.
I've now got 3 games to save a job I probably don't even really want at this point. I'm going to do what the fuck I like.
Yeah.
So what is the point of giving it? This the thing. They might have even gone. We're 3 or 4 managers down now, and this normally happens. Normally, if you've got a manager nailed on, you get rid of Pellegrini. Oh, get Pellegrini out. Get someone else in like Spurs did with Mourinho. I'm not sure who they're going to be talking to because there's many candidates there. You've got Benitez out in China. It's going to take a lot of money for him to come over and take a job like West Ham over having it easy and casual over in having all that money. But what is it? The Arsenal game will be the last of the 3 games, or the Wolves game, or something like that. He's got left to go on.
Yeah.
After that, it'll be the slam the door. But this is West Ham at the moment. Nothing's foreseen. But it would not surprise me one little bit. They went for someone like Pursuit because he's free and he's probably cheaper than a lot of the candidates going. So yeah, in my opinion, they're talking to a lot of people.
That's coming from a betting man. So that's your pick.
I'm not saying I want him. But
no, I mean, like you think that's the odds are. You think that would take him?
Honestly, I'd say personally, my perfect guy to come in would be Sean Dyche because I think he'd get the players A, to defend properly, B, to work for themselves, and maybe let's shit house a few games. Let's shit house a few results there. Anyone that saw the Tottenham game, how many times did those players go down and fake injuries? And what was the end result? They won.
Yeah.
Why can't West Ham do that? Why can't West Ham just go down and fucking fake a few injuries? We need their managers to come in to play the game the way it's played in modern times, not just be too clean cut.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm still talking now.
Well, see, our problem is too, though, is now we're negotiating from a position of weakness. I mean, Spurs have done the incredible, to be honest. It's one of the only clubs I can name that have gone out in the middle of the season, got a manager better than what they currently have. I mean, what are we expecting? We're coming on to December now. What can we genuinely expect to get done here?
I know. I lost for words. I know. Wally, man. What do you think that they're? What do you think that they're thinking, man? Would you take Moyes? Would you take him back? If you were Moyes, would you come back? And also, you think that they're talking to the right people? How about this? Do you think they're talking to the right fucking people?
I think we're giving the board way too much credit. I don't think they've talked to anybody, and this thing has come up way too fast for them. Because things were going well in September, and suddenly we're on a losing streak, and I bet they haven't really done anything, and they're just like Ray said, they're just hoping that Pellegrini will come good, and they spent a lot of money on Pellegrini, so I think they really haven't done anything, basically. And maybe they're leaking a few names or whatever, but I think they've done practically nothing. So I think we're stuck with Pellegrini. Yeah. So.
Oh, you're right. This is so frustrating. Anyway, Adam, what do you think, my man?
Yeah, I think the reality is the person that they're most likely to appoint is flipping Jack Sullivan. Oh, you've done a good job with the women. Why don't you be the manager? Be the youngest, and then they'll be like youngest ever Premier League manager, youngest ever manager to get relegated, youngest whatever. I mean, some more records.
I don't know, because he bought his way to the FA Cup with the women's, didn't he, last year? I mean, or his daddy did.
Maybe if he's the manager, he'll get more money.
That's what I'm saying. He got special treatment, right?
Yeah.
He gets the special treatment.
Yeah, it might happen.
Sullivan in.
Let's go for him.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it couldn't get worse. I don't think he'll put Roberto in goal. But I actually you know, and it's hard to say it, but just think about the conversations that we were all having 2.5 months ago. You know, we were 1 win away from third in the league. And, you know, the reality is Pellegrini has achieved a lot in his career. I think that, honestly, as fans, we can just be very fickle and fairly disrespectful. And I think that the truth is that, you know, the last thing we should be doing is get a manager with like a reputation, an older manager who knows what he's doing, be trying to tarnish that. Like, he's got the ability, and like, I don't like defending him because he's making some key mistakes, like keeping players in the team who shouldn't be there. But the reality is, he has one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League who never gets injured and is injured. Yeah. You know, he has, we've had other injury, Antonio out injured. All of our players, for some reason, have decided to go off the boil and be off form at the same time. And we've not got awful players. Pellegrini isn't an awful manager. And I think that what we need to do is be more like the West Ham that we used to be and keep faith with our managers. You know, like, give him until the end of this, at least give him a chance to turn things around. Once Fabianski's back, that will change things. That will change a lot. And I think that, like, I don't know. I personally don't want us to be that team, because West Ham are better than that. You know, we've got a great history. We've only had 17 managers in like over 100 years. Like, it's insane. No other club can boast that sort of record. And I know I get the argument for like, let's mix and match, but I just think that we stick with it. Give him the season. Worst case scenario, we've got some really good players on loan in the Championship that will kill it for us next year.
Well, speaking of, let's get into these Hammers polls, which I think that's one of the first questions.
Just a quick one. If we go down, our stadium's going to be fucked, because there's going to be like 25,000 people in there. It's going to be empty. It's going to be like a graveyard.
Do you know what I heard? There's a rumor going around. Apparently, if we get relegated, we get a Championship discount on the rent.
Yeah, apparently we do.
There is stuff written into that contract.
Of course there is.
Oh,
This is
so
fucking
scary. So scary.
Might make the price of a pint go down.
No,
the good news is there are some awful teams below us. Like, there are some other awful teams that we should be able to perform better than.
Yeah, Burnley and Sheffield and Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. I mean, all these fucking teams we should have fucking beat, dude. Brighton, we drew them. Like, we should have fucking smashed them, no?
Yeah.
We're better than Brighton, right? Come on, tell me. On paper, especially on paper, we're better than Brighton, right?
On paper, we're better.
Should be.
Should be. Sheffield, too. They're overachieving, those fucking Sheffield bastards. Anyway, let's get into the fucking polls before I put my foot in my mouth again. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see this? Yeah. Anybody?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
There we go.
Barely.
All right. So the first question is, if West Brom get the championship, if they win the championship and it offers £15 million for Grady Diangana, would you like the club to accept that? Or would you accept that? Let's fuck the club, dude. Forget it. Like, would you accept that? Would you? Let's go back here. So, what's your Adam? Wayne. Just kidding, Adam.
I'd say no, but it really, it's very hard to answer that question until you know how we do this season. I mean, if we sign players in January and there's absolutely no chance he'll get in the team, maybe. But I would say probably no.
Okay. Wally.
I'd say yes. I'd take it, because I'll tell you what, he looked kind of lightweight last year. He'd get knocked off the ball a lot. So I think that's a good price. I would take that.
And he's doing a great job in championship. So he's still not really proven anything.
Right.
Anyway, that is kind of low. I don't know. I might think that's a little too low, but Luke.
No, next.
Rick.
Absolutely no freaking way. We can't sell our youth at future. He is smashing it in the championship, right? He's one of the best players in the championship. He will be worth at least 10, 20 million more, giving it one more season in a Premiership. We've got both Antonio and Nat are getting older. They're going to be over in their 30s. We need some young energy. We need some spunk, basically. So no way would I sell him. Not a chance.
John.
My answer depends on whether or not we're in the Premiership or
Exactly.
we're in the Championship. So
Bastard,
which one are we in? And then I'll answer it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've got to wait until the end of the season, really.
Yeah, if we're in the Championship, absolutely
need
not.
him
We've
in
got
the
a proven
Championship, yeah.
Championship player, and the rest of our squad is clearing off. If we're in the Premier League, absolutely not. That's not enough money for him, and we should be bringing him through and making him the backup. So no, either way, I would hope that if we're in the Premier, he'd still want to play for us. If we're in the Championship, it may be a little bit harder to keep him.
Yeah. All right. Well, Holland, no shit, is tearing it up again for the under-23s, which isn't a big surprise.
Well, wait, what was the vote on that? Did we?
Oh yeah, fucking Wally. God damn it. You usually do this, don't you? No, I usually have someone else do this for me.
I'm the numbers guy. I want to know what the numbers are.
I said yes,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
87% said no, because it's the same thing if we said, hey, Real Madrid offered £30 million for Mikel Antonio at the age of 47. Would you get rid of him? No, it's our man. It's our guy. We can't do it. He's so technically like fucking Ronaldo. Like, oh my God.
He can play goal.
So yeah, no, it's a Homer issue. It's I get it. So Holland's tearing it up again in the under-23s, as is Scully and Coventry and everybody else. Even though he has played tonight, would you start him against Chelsea? Yes or no? Let's start with the yawner, Luke.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's late, dude. It's fucking almost 3 a.m.
It's the early hours. I've just finished. I finished work at 10. Would I start him? I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I would. And I'd start him over Anderson. I think Anderson needs to be dropped pronto. Maybe not, for the whole game. Maybe Bimmer was a sub, but definitely needs to be dropped. And we need to do what Man United have decided to do in the last few weeks, which is, play some youth. Greenwood scored against Sheffield United Sunday, as did their young left back. And sometimes the best thing you can do at the club is just bring through a couple of youth, bring through a really, barnstorming youth player. It gives the whole place a buzz. So it's what we need against Chelsea, definitely. So yeah, I'd start against Chelsea, definitely.
Awesome. So Adam's got food in his mouth. Let's pick him. Adam.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm enjoying Luke's answers, so I'm eating popcorn. When he's there, I'm like, oh yeah, I think that's exactly right. I totally agree.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I took a long time.
I don't know. It's tough because so many about like Sam Allardyce in one foul swoop. I'll never forget. Like ruined the whole crop of our youth players. Like literally an entire team. One of them, Sebastian Leggett, now starts for the US national team. But he threw him out to the wolves and basically destroyed an entire youth team to prove a point that these kids aren't ready to play. And so it's hard to know where that line is, but in a team that are so lacking in confidence, that I just feel like it's not the right time to bring in a young player who is still learning the game. I just don't think our team's strong enough for it. I think that if he were to start and make some mistakes, well, everyone's like people have said throughout this, the atmosphere is so toxic. I don't know. I just think that maybe it's not the right time yet. So I wouldn't.
John.
It's a tough one, but the player I am starting against Chelsea is Antonio. And if Holland can at least be in and around that first team,
100%.
That's good. I don't think I start him. He's somewhere on the bench. He's training with the first team. We just need pace. We're lacking pace. We're lacking players through the middle. Just having some of those youth kids come through and at least compete for a starting place and know that they're actually competing for a starting place and not just youth players. I think that could only be good for the team.
Wally.
You know what? Last year against we went to Man City and we put Johnson in right off the, he'd never played before and he did a fine job. I think we put in Holland. It's away at Chelsea, so there's not the home crowd. I think we put him in, take Anderson out, send him a message. So.
Squad too. They like to play with their youth. Now, here's the issue before we get into Ray. I mentioned the trot because there was this wave of people screaming for us to recall before they realized that we can't recall him until January. That's the type of kid that he's at one, right? I mean, under 23s, it's a different thing. I mean, at least they're close to the team. They're close to our first training with. They can train with our first team if necessary, shit like that. Blah 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 blah. My problem with spring, not 23s, is like recalling somebody. It's like it would destroy his fucking career if he goes out there and looks like Roberto. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about Trot right now.
He can't do that. He can't do that.
You fucking bring him out there, he get fucking destroyed. So, same thing with Anang or whatever the fuck his name is. If we did that with him, he fucking lets 2-3 goals in against Chelsea. The fucking fans would be destroying him. He'd destroy his confidence. We'd never hear from him again. He'd be gone. Done. Cooked before he even has an opportunity to fucking do anything. So anyway, with Holland, I've been saying this since last season. I've been dying to have Holland play not in the cup, like actual league. That would be awesome. Even if 15-20s, that would be but I just think the asshole, and he doesn't like doing that. He just does not like giving them the opportunity because Diangana burned last year because Diangana did jack shit. He comes around like a little zippy man. You fucking wind up those and he just smashes himself into the walls. Doesn't do anything. Just goes around in circles. Holland has got fucking talent that I've never seen before. I mean, it's when you hear about Holland from players, from Jack Collison, who was one of the coaches in the academy, he says, like, I haven't even heard that they hear about Holland the same shit they hear about Ravel Morrison when it comes down to just natural ability and know-how and awareness and technical skill and everything. But his head's on. He's not like, so that's the type of guy that I'm so fucking excited to see. And if you put him out there 15-20 minutes, he does jack shit. There you go. Under 23s. Maybe ship him off to loan in January. You know what I'm saying? Give him the fucking opportunity now before the window opens. Because then that would tell you keep him under 23s for the whole fucking season? No. You might want to set him on loan if you're not going to fucking play him. But that also has to do with, who's our next manager? Because Pellegrini ain't going to do shit. Anyway, Ray, sorry. I went on with Ray. I do enough time.
Okay. So for me, it's a hard no to start him. It's definitely a no to start him. He does need minutes. Just like you said, he needs 10, 15, and then 20 minutes under his belt. What they will also do is you sub off Anderson and go on Holland. Look, Anderson's doing bugger all. Go change the game. Just do whatever you want. Just do what you do in training. Just relax. Just chill. Just make an unbelievable run. Just make an unbelievable pass. Just got no pressure on you whatsoever. The fans will not give Holland any pressure because, like when Declan scored an own goal, no one gave him any shit because he scored an own goal. They're just like, he's learning. He's a kid. Let's give him a chance. So, and for 10, 20 minutes, he's going to have no pressure whatsoever. Then you go to Anderson, you say, you're getting outplayed, you're getting outworked, you're getting outrun by this kid. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And then that's going to say to Anderson, right, I need to pull up my socks. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting on his bench while this guy's playing all the minutes under the sun and taking my team in the Brazilian squad. So I think it's a no-lose situation unless he has a really terrible game. But just put him 10 minutes, how bad can you be for 10 minutes?
Seriously.
So look at Roberto.
What? Oh, yeah. So 66% said yes, but it's still an early poll. A couple of days left, and there's only 209 votes. So that's fairly low their polls. You know, the other day they had like stuff. All right, here we go. This is poll of the night, and probably the last question before I start doing my commercial to close things out. If we sack
Tim,
what?
you there?
I think we lost Tim.
Are you fucking serious?
Well,
We can only
could hear
first,
that. It would be really funny if we could pretend that we can't hear anything, but your connection is terrible.
Yeah.
It usually does that when it's time to go. But no, we have one more question left. So if you guys can read it out loud and just sun goes. How about that? I'll just sit here.
Okay. Who wants to go?
If we did sack Pellegrini, would you sell Rice to maximize finances to the new manager? No.
Yeah, I agree. I would say no as well. That's.
I don't really think it even needs an explanation.
Go ahead, going up, Luke.
Yeah, this should even be a yes option for me. No. I don't think we'd sell him for enough anyway, so we'd miss the ball where that payment was concerned. No, for me, no, definitely not.
For me, it's a hard no. There's no way. There's no money in the kitty. We have got a low net spend. There must be money in there for more TV rights. Got to be money somewhere. They're hiding it. They're screwing it away for some. Maybe they're saving it for Jack Sullivan coming as manager. There we go.
You're absolutely right, Ray. It's a no from me. This is a once in a generation talent for West Ham. We haven't had a player come through the academy quite to his quality in God knows how long. The way to maximize the amount of finances for a new manager is for the owners to stick their money in their pocket, stick their hands in their pockets and pull some money out. They're taking enough money out of the club. We've got enough TV money coming in. We've got a brand new stadium that's adding a little bit more revenue. We've got new sponsors on the sleeves and on the back and up our asses and everywhere else. Mm-hmm. So it's time for the owners to dig their hands in their pockets and start providing that new money for any manager. Adam, you've said something revolutionary for me tonight. I am Sullivan in, #Sullivan in, because the Sullivans only give a shit about the Sullivans, and Big Sullivan will not let Little Sullivan fail. Jack Sullivan, next West Ham manager for me.
Well, I've heard from Jimmy Sullivan that might be happening, you know, David's brother.
All right, well, we will go... we'll start with Adam and then go around counterclockwise, plugging anything that you'd like to plug before I do my commercial.
Stay positive, love your life, listen to the West Ham is Why We Drink podcast, and learn the new Bubbles song.
All right.
Wally.
American Hammers TV, threadless, something or other. Tim will probably have more details, but look at this beautiful T-shirt I got. So anyway, Luke.
Just subscribe and follow all Irons United stuff on social media and YouTube. We're always up for fans if you want to come on and the guest appearance, or if you just want to shout and get your voice and opinion heard out there. Always looking for new people and fans in general, whoever you are, whatever you got to say, just come on and have it. Just subscribe, follow, like. We're all Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we're on it. So more the merrier. Just give Irons United a follow.
For me, we've got the away game for Liverpool coming up soon, so come have a beer at Cody Ugly in Liverpool. Let's just get fucked up, no matter what the result is.
Good boy.
See, Liverpool away days in my future. Friday Night Likes on this channel, American Hammers TV. Please subscribe. We've got a great show this Friday, don't we, Tim? Tim has lined up our guests. We've got Dom, Marshy, and Baz.
That's a great one.
Everybody knows them. We got some interesting questions for them, I think. So should be a good laugh. Please retweet, please share. You can follow me on Twitter at the handle, wherever the hell it is, John_8_no. I'm all good. There it is. I don't even know my own name on there.
Yeah. So ahtv.threadless.com. Me and Alex, but especially Alex from Mississippi, has been putting a shitload of his time into, building that store for us. Okay. With tons of cool things, like Wally's wearing one of our shirts tonight. The Statue of Liberty says American Hammers Television on it. It's really fucking cool. Kind of like an 80s, like, MTV-ish throwback type of deal. There's a lot of pop culture related items in there. There's also Supporters Club logos. Now, the thing with the Supporters Club logos in this shop, you can get them on, fucking bath mats, on, throw pillows, t-shirts, hoodies, onesies, and not onesies for size, but, little baby onesies. You did a whole bunch of shit. Point is, if you buy something from the Porters Club logo on, they get profit. So it helps pay, stuff for to either advertise, do bar tab, or whatever they do. So it's a really, really, really cool little thing we got going on with supporters groups. If you have your logo in our shop, send it over, and we can do the same thing and split the, there. So hammers, we got Moscow, we got Jesus Christ Sing. That selling, and Bayou Ironworks has been selling the most. It's fucking awesome, so good on them, and Mississippi Hammers sold 2 things too. And crazy. So anyway, it's just a cool thing. And then, we have like American Hammers Radio, American Hammers TV, American Hammers Network, the whole 9 yards in there as well. But there's also cool designs. Like my favorite shirt, man, it's Uncle Sam with his middle finger saying, fuck dear Spurs, have a nice day. That's an awesome shirt. But anyway, check it out, ahtv.threadless.com. We also have scarves that are not in the shop because we have them physically on hand. You got to go to AmericanHammersTV.us. It's our website. And there's a submission form there as well, that if you want to join the show, and it's also on our shop too. If you want to join the show, if you're watching this after the fact, you're watching it live. If you want to join the show, then, reach out to us. We'll get you on somehow. We'll either interview you first, and then once we've interviewed you on the show, we'll bring you back. Like we brought Luke back, we brought Adam back, Ray, Wally, John. They've all been interviewed first, and then we bring them on to do all these cool, fun shows. You want to get involved? Message me. I mean, we answer all the different social media posts from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So for everybody tuning in over on Periscope and YouTube and Facebook, I really appreciate it. But you Facebook and you Periscope people, please swing over to the YouTube if you liked what you saw, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because so. So we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to start giving shit away. So we got some really cool stuff lined up for you. Anyway, long story short, happy Thanksgiving for all of us. Day off tomorrow, and misery loves company. Turkey dinners and shit. But at least I have no work next fucking 4 days, so that's cool. And, show is, so like John said, check it out. I'd like to thank Luke. I'd like to thank Wally. I'd like to thank Adam, Ray, and John. Listen, that I get to make, do, and I really appreciate all spending their time staying up till 3 in the fucking morning. Yeah. Hang out. Come on, you Irons.
All right, Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.